I just built up a wheel for my bike, and I did it this morning in about 15 minutes while I ate breakfast. It gave me the idea to make a how to lace BMX wheels, since this was so easy, and I thought you guys might enjoy it. It's pretty quick and easy, and once you get used to it, you can do it to any wheel. So I just got a spare rim, a cinema free coaster, and I'm going to teach you how to lace it up. So what you guys are going to need to build this is a hub, a rim, nipples, spokes, and a spoke wrench. Grab your hub, it doesn't matter which side you start on. Grab a spoke, drop it in a hole. You're going to do 9 to start with, but you're going to skip a hole. So you just drop this one inbound on that side, you're going to do this one, skip a hole, all the way around. That one, skip a hole. That one, skip a hole. And the last one, you should drop the last one in and have 2 empty holes next to it. So that's step number 1. You have 9 spokes hanging in there. The next step is grab your rim and find the valve hole. That's where the tube goes in. You'll see there's a spoke up higher and a spoke down lower. We're going to take the hub that has the hanging spokes and throw any spoke into this upper one. That's going to be our starting position. So right to the left of the valve hole, you throw 1 spoke end into here and thread the nipple on. Right through there. Grab the nipple, turn it a few times. Now that won't come out. I have my first spoke through there. Alright, you threw the first spoke in. Now the second spoke, if you can see the holes through the table, this is the valve stem. That doesn't count as a spoke hole. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then put the next spoke in the 4th hole. So the next spoke that's on your hub goes 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th hole. And then you put a spoke in. So then I grab the next one that is in the hub, and I throw that in 1, 2, 3 into the 4th hole. And you do that all the way around. Here's this one. Go 1, 2, 3 into the 4th one. Here's the last spoke, and it should be 1, 2, 3 into the 4th, and then there should be 3 spaces to the one you started with. So it lines up right in the middle. You know you did it right. Throw that in there. And now your wheel should look like this. And it'll be pretty loose, but now you flip it over and we do the other side. So we just put these spokes in. You're going to flip it over and we're going to start the next side. If you find the hole where you start off right next to the valve hole and follow this spoke down, I'll try and show you as best I can. You'll see that these holes don't line up with that spoke. There's one hole to the left of that and one hole to the right of it. You're going to throw your next spoke inbound, just like how we did on the other side, in the hole to the right of it. So you throw it in to the hole to the right of it, and you'll see those don't line up. Now you're going to throw this new spoke right next to it to the right of that spoke. Don't do it to the left because it'll mess up how the wheel is laced. So you're going to do right to the right of it and then right to the right of it. You can throw that one on. Every other one, just like how you did on the first side, throw them in. Leave 1 space in between, and then this spoke is gonna go to the right of the spoke on the lower part of the rim. So you might have to bend it a little, but that's fine. You throw it into the right of the first spoke. So then you do that every way around and just keep throwing every other and then to the right of this spoke. Every other to the right of that spoke. And then just like last time, you'll have a spot that will have 2 empty spots next to it when you throw in the last spoke. And that should be your last one, so that's 9 spokes you did on each side. Now the wheel should look somewhat like this. And you'll see that there's one sticking out at different angles, but that all goes away in the next step. The next step is to grab the hub and spin it clockwise. So now it'll bring all of the spokes a little bit tighter and your wheel will look like that. Now grab a spoke, and remember how before we were throwing spokes inbound? Now we're going to be throwing them outbound. So you're going to find any hole and pull a spoke in towards you like that. So before we were going in, now we're going out. The first one that you push in, it doesn't matter where you do it or which side of the hub you do it, but you pull it in, and these spokes, since you twisted it, are all facing that way now, so you're going to be facing this way. And this is a 3-cross lacing pattern, so you're going to do over, over, under. So if you can picture the spokes in that hole, this one's going to go over that one. Wait, I wasn't lined up at all. So you can see this spoke is going over here. So the spoke you just threw in that's coming out is going to go over that one, over this one, over this one, and then under this one. So it's going to go like this. Over, over, and then you're going to pry it to go under that one. This is a really hard angle to show, but you can see now it goes over that one, but under that one. So it'll be at that angle, and then you're not going to throw it into. That's such a hard angle to show. So after you go over, over, under, you're not going to throw it into this bottom hole, but you're going to skip a hole and go to this hole. Don't worry too much about the hub coming on twisted. Really, once you throw in that first spoke, it'll kind of stay where it's at. So then just keep going around. I'll just go into the next hole, and remember, you're going to go outbound. So you stick it through like that, pull it out, then you're going to go over, over, under. Over, over, under, then skip a hole. Sorry if that was a bad angle, but you should be able to see now. This spoke right here that's coming out, this one, is going over this one, and then bent and under this one. So that's why it's called a 3-cross, because each spoke crosses 3. And then when I was saying skip a hole, you see how it comes under here, but it doesn't go in that hole. It's so hard to show the light into here. Alright, here we go. This is so hard. Alright. This spoke goes over, over, under, and then it doesn't go into this hole, but it goes into this hole. So just make sure that you can look at the rim and you can see that there's some spoke holes that are up top and some that are down bottom. Just make sure if you're doing this side of the hub that you're going to the top. If you're doing this side of the hub, you're going to the bottom row. And then you'll be alright. So I'll speed this up now, but you're just going to keep doing the outbound spokes and then doing the over, over, under, skip a hole. that's one side of your wheel that is completely laced, so there shouldn't be any holes left on this side of the hub or the top layer of holes on the rim. So then the next step is to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to do the same thing where you stick them outbound like this and now lace it. So over, over, under, and then there's only going to be one opening left in between that spoke. So you're going to throw it in the last opening, so then it's easy, you don't have to keep track, you just keep lacing and then throw it in the nearest open hole. So you just do the same thing you did on the other side, go all the way around, and then you'll have bruh. So it's going to be the same thing, over, over, under. And then I'll speed this up and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all laced up. And now there's only one hole left, so you're going to throw in the last outbound spoke, pull it through. There should only be one place left for it on the rim, otherwise you might want to watch the video again and see what you missed. So you're going to do over, over, under. It should line up right to the last one. Grab your last nipple, screw it on there. So now it looks like a complete wheel, but all these spokes are loose. But it's still pretty straight, just because I have a straight rim. But to get all this loosened, that's when the spoke wrench comes in handy. Just tighten it little by little as you go around the rim, and eventually these will tighten up. And if you just do small amounts on each turn, you shouldn't pull the rim too much side to side, and then all your spokes will be tight and your wheel will end up looking like this, being really solid. This is the first wheel I built today. Just built this second one for you, so it's definitely something you can learn. And I did this one with all new parts, so it was a lot easier to build. There were new spokes and new rim. The hub was old, but not torn up too much. These were old spokes, old nipples, and a really used rim. So it's a little bit harder to build with old parts, but obviously you can still do it. And you can make your own wheels, you can fix your friend's wheels. You'll notice that some of these nipples, like, you know, this one here, are sticking up a little more than others, and it might be every other. When you tighten it, the hub will shift side to side, whichever side, if it's not lined up, and as you tighten them, everything will tighten up, and these should all lay flat, and then you can put your rim strip back over, put a tire on, and you shouldn't have any problems. So I'd say ride it, like go ride it right after you build it, and then check the spokes, and if they need to be trued or tightened again, just go ahead and do it right then before the problem gets worse, and then you can avoid ever having a bent rim and keep your spokes tight and you'll be alright.